washing machine, fridge, smart TV, air conditioner, kitchen items amadi makal khudingmakki home appliances kidamak thoina waningai leite. Kaisampat Kunchen Hazari Lekai da leiba Mezo Hub Impalna ahongbo mamalda item khudingmakki up to 50% discount da offer pizari. Wedding set unalogu matamdasu special oiba discount kayasu thamjari. Interest amakta yawdena 0% EMI loan ni kudong chabasu thamjari. Kudong chabasi mangan biraganu ngasi maklengsin biraku Mezo Hub Impal Kaisampat Kunchen Hazari Lekai.
Adom gari macha darkar oibibra Supna gi minute kuntra gi manungda document ichang changdana Vespa amadi Aprilia gi apamba model sing supna dagi lupa lising tara khaktang puthok piduna loan oina lawba yabagi khudong chaba pizare Akupa marol kidamak contact tobirau 9089895330 amadi 9615823252 Tulasi Motors Private Limited Thangmaiban amadi Sangai Pro Kudong Chaba si mangan bigano masimag contact tobirau terms and condition apply
Hello and a very good evening. Welcome to ELITETV's Open Debate in English. I'm Utpala Longjam, your host for tonight. The goal of cosmetic surgery is to improve a person's appearance, self-esteem and self-confidence. Cosmetic surgery can be performed on any part of the body and the face. Because cosmetic surgery can bring lasting and dramatic changes to your outside appearance, it is important to understand how these changes might affect you on the inside. All surgeries, including cosmetic procedures, carry risks. However, according to studies, good-looking people get better jobs and salaries and unconventional-looking people get bullied. Hence, many people these days will go to any extent to and bear any charges for these cosmetic procedures. The plastic surgery market is projected at $64 billion by 2028. But the main question is, does cosmetic surgery or enhancement really make a person happy? Cosmetic enhancement has even led to loss of life in other parts of the world. This brings us to the topic for our open debate tonight. Cosmetic surgery, a fashion mania or a necessity? Let me quickly introduce our panelists for tonight. Going from my left to the right of the screen, we have Dr. K.H. Palin, Managing Director, Shija Hospital. Welcome to ELITETV Open Debate, Dr. Palin. Next, we have Jennifer Wangkhem. Next, we have Jennifer Wangkhem, Chief Brand Officer, SAPPHO Beauty and Wellness. Welcome to ELITETV Open Debate, Jennifer.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here.
We're glad to have you. And last but not the least, we have Romita Singh, fashion designer and an advocate by education. Welcome to ELITETV Open Debate, Romita.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Once again, a warm welcome to all our three panelists. And let's go ahead with the open debate. The first question I have is for Dr. Palin. Doctor, can you tell us, is cosmetic surgery and plastic surgery the same, or is there a difference between the two?
Thank you very much. And this plastic surgery is a branch of medical science.
Okay.
And for the convenience of the this description, we divide this plastic surgery into cosmetic and or aesthetic,
okay,
or reconstructive surgery. So here I would like to mention that reconstructive surgery focus on the development of the restoration of the function of the parts.
Okay.
At the same time, the cosmetic or aesthetic surgery aims at improving the self-esteem, or self-confidence of the individual.
Right.
And of course, both are overlap. There's distinct defined line, but mainly the aim is to improve the self-esteem in case of or aesthetic surgery. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that information, Doctor. I'll come back to you in the next round. Next question is for Romita. Romita, do you think cosmetic surgery is more popular with women or men? Let's say in the case of Manipur, and what are your observations, since you're based in Bangalore, what are your observations of the procedure? Is it the men or the women who, or is it like equally observed among men and women in Bangalore? And do you have any idea about what is the situation in Manipur? And do you think it would make a person happier?
Yeah, so I would not say people in Manipur or Bangalore have some awareness of cosmetic surgery. Of course, they do have awareness, but the awareness needs to increase. But generally, yes, it makes a person happier as long as the results are as expected. So being in this industry, I can see lots of models are using, but they are skeptical to reveal about it.
Okay.
So yeah, so I think we should need more awareness about the cosmetics.
Okay, but it's like it's not like the women. It's not gender biased, is it? In the sense, is it the women who
No.
Men equally,
are also
as per
using,
your observation?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. I'll come back to you in the next round. I'll come to Jennifer now. Jennifer, the same question. What do you think, since you're based in Manipur, what do you think is the situation here? Is it the men or the women who actually go in for these cosmetic surgeries? Or we also have a lot of transgenders who do go in for these procedures. So what is your observation?
My observation so far with Utpala is that women lean more towards the cosmetic surgery. I think it's more due to the patriarchal system that we have. Even when you are, going to get married, people ideally ask, how is the woman? How does she look? Is she fat? Is she thin? How's her skin like? But nobody ever questions men, like how does he look? How tall is he? So I think due to this, women are more leaning towards the cosmetic surgery, especially the eyelid and the nose surgery, because they think it makes them look perfect. And of course the transgender, I've seen a lot of my transgender friends or group going surgery, bodily or facial structure. So I'm not sure whether women does it more or transgender does it more, but it's definitely men are lesser.
Okay.
That is my observation.
Okay, thank you. Again, I'll come to you in the next round. So the next question is a little more technical for Dr. Palin. What are some of the most popular surgical procedures that are carried out in Manipur? And can you also tell us what is the range of the cost involved? And do these people who are undergoing these procedures, do they require some sort of counseling before they actually go in for the procedure?
Thank you. Regarding this male and female in Manipur, we have noticed that 80% of our customers are female. And regarding the prevalence of this surgery in Manipur, we have the highest being the eyelid surgery. It may be Asian eyelid or anti-aging eyelid. Next is the rhinoplasty, nose reshaping. And then comes the hair transplantation recently. And then abdominal breast is the fourth. And lastly the abdominoplasty. And this is about the surgical one. And non-surgical Botox leads overall. And followed by filler, hair reduction. Skin whitening has become very popular. And again the fat reduction. And worldwide liposuction is number one. It has overtaken the breast surgery. Augmentation breast surgery. And then second is the breast worldwide. Eyelid remains the third, rhinoplasty fourth, and abdominoplasty the fifth position. And regarding the cost, I should say it is quite relatively cheaper compared to metros.
Okay.
And yeah, I cannot specify details, but it is much cheaper. Say, for example, eyelid surgery. In Bangalore, I have noticed that it is 65
Okay.
thousand, and even in this Delhi, here we are charging 25,000,
Okay.
and it is a package including all the consumables.
Okay.
Either it is the Asian eyelid surgery or this anti-aging. A little bit about Asian eyelid surgery. The creation of the eyelid folds, particularly for the Asian eyes, it was a challenge 25 years back in Manipur,
Okay.
and there was no one to teach us, and we learned it from a Chinese
Okay.
surgeon, and ultimately it clicked, and we have tried, and we have modified, and now we have the right technique and right methods, and we have been able to give better result, because most ladies, girls, they wanted a bigger eyelid,
Okay.
and that's why we have modified. Ultimately, we have been able to achieve the result, and we have presented in the plastic surgery conference, and it seems that we have done highest number of eyelid, particularly Asian eyelid surgery in the country.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
So, doctor, is there a minimum age recommended for cosmetic enhancements or surgeries? Is there a minimum age today?
It depends upon the situation. Say, for eyelid or nose or any other, say, that we wait till the customer is more than 18 years.
18. Okay.
Like we have done eyelid surgery at the age of 12 years.
Okay.
That I don't recommend nowadays.
Okay.
We are not doing so until they attain say 18 years.
18. Okay.
Otherwise, say there is a white pigmentation. Say the so-called leukoderma.
Okay.
In the small patches, if it is either 10 years or 15 years, there is a social stigma, and we do it. We do it as soon as possible, because they are mentally traumatized socially.
Right.
So it depends upon the condition and also acceptability of the family.
Okay. Okay, so I'll come back to you again in the next round. Thank you so much for the information. My next question is for Jennifer.
Yeah.
Jennifer, can you tell us some of the pros and cons of cosmetic surgery, as you might have noticed, or let's say of cosmetic enhancement, like eyelash extension or the keratin treatment? Are there any side effects that you know of or allergies that people should be aware of?
There are definitely pros and cons. Eyelash extensions, I've not seen much of a side effect there, but it's more like an addiction.
Okay.
So when you look at social media, people look perfect and everybody's hair or skin or makeup is so perfect, but social media is so fake. People Photoshop it with a lot of makeup and eyelashes. So the normal or commoners or laymen like me want to look like them. So they go into it. I would say the pros are definitely it makes a person look better and it boosts their self-esteem as well. The con would be that it's a recurring addiction. Once you start looking like that, you want to keep on having long eyelashes, and it's something alien to the body. It's not natural, right?
Yeah,
So you have eye infection if not done properly.
Okay.
And then financial strains. If
Yes.
there are any financial strains, then the addiction will consume into it. So I would say that those are the cons that I see in eyelashes extension. For keratin, there's not much of a physical side effect, but again, it's the mental.
Okay.
Keratin is just enhancing your hair and making it, luscious and making it more healthy. Keratin is already present in our hair. Our hair is protein and keratin is also protein. So we're just coating the hair to make it look better. Again, it's more into the addiction only, which is the con for this such treatment. And I would say that it's rather to do it to boost our self-esteem on our own rather than comparing to people in social media or comparing myself to my friend or comparing myself to the rest A, B, C, and D. it'll be best if you go for such treatment when you actually need it for your hair and when you actually need it for your eyes. Like, I would suggest an eyelash extension to a bride because on that certain period of time there are a lot of attention around them, right? So at that time they can take it, but I would say don't do it as an addiction because putting a foreign object on your eye, and eye is very, very sensitive. It's one of the most important organ of your whole body.
Right.
So putting a foreign object for a long span of time, I definitely don't recommend it. I would say keep it occasional, keep it when it's required.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We'll get to you in the next round. Romita, okay, as Jennifer was just telling us about the addiction, what do you think? Well, of course, there have been studies performed about cosmetic procedures and they have been found to be an addiction, as Jennifer rightly said. But what is your opinion? What have you observed in people around, in the models that you deal with?
So, well, I think it depends. Younger people do tend to get addicted, but the mature ones are usually stable.
Okay.
So it is common for models to use some or the other cosmetic procedures.
Okay.
And it is not confined just to female models.
Okay.
Males also use. I have not seen anyone facing a side effect or the procedure going wrong in my surroundings till now. So I think these surgeries help people look better, increases their confidence and positivity.
Okay. All right, thank you. I'll come to Dr. Palin regarding something related to what Jennifer and Romita just said. Doctor, can you tell us some more information about the keratin treatment that people do get on their hair these days and also these eyelash extensions? What could be the possible health problems that they might face later? Because studies have shown that when keratin treatment is being given, there are some fumes that come out and that does affect the human in certain ways. So can you give us some more in-depth information on this?
We have not noticed much about the effect of this keratin, and yes, definitely for these eyelashes we have encountered a lot of patients. It seems that they are quite comfortable, except that some loose particles coming out when we see them, and even during the surgery they have come along with the eyelashes. So yes, definitely, as it is a chemical, there might be some effect, and also some particles may go into the eye and irritate. These are few things, but details I don't have any idea about this much side effect. Of course, any chemical, unless it is proved, will have definitely some side effect.
But for these eyelash extensions, some people do say that sometimes people might just lose out on their natural eyelashes because of the constant usage of the extension. Is there any truth in that, or?
Right. That we have noticed because every time they change, the health of the eyelashes will be, I think, definitely affected.
Okay.
Because, and all the time, most of the time it is covered also, so it doesn't become natural environment. So definitely it affects, and maybe at the time of removal, some of the eyelashes may be levels. That is how. But because the desire is much more, and they always go for these eyelashes, and many are having this, and of course it depends upon her care of this extended eye hair or eyelashes, or the parlor where it is put. So if they have been instructed properly and taken care, I think it can be. And the frequency, if it is frequently done, definitely it will affect.
Okay, but again, the follicles, the hair follicles, would they get affected? Especially for
definitely,
the eyelash?
Because it is covered, and every time you remove it, because there is a sticker.
Right.
So and it will be definitely covered, and natural moisture and environment will be lost, and the health of the eyelashes, the existing eyelashes, though it is very short and thin, it may be lost.
Okay.
Utpala, I would like to add on to Dr. Palin.
Okay, please do.
He's definitely right. And your question to it, how the eyelashes fall off, is those fake or the artificial strands is stuck on our natural hair, on the natural lashes, which gives a lot of pressure to the fragile strands.
Okay.
So in order, and we cannot wash it off, we cannot wash our eyes very roughly if we have the extensions on. So it definitely weighs down the natural hair strands and we lose out, or the natural one falls off.
Okay.
And on top of that, the glue getting stuck on that, I definitely feel that it's not healthy if done regularly. Occasionally, it's well and good. But again, agreeing to Dr. Palin, it's definitely not good if you're doing it on a regular basis.
Okay.
And the question that you ask about the keratin fumes that comes out, you are true. Fumes do come out, but that has been regarded in the older technology.
Okay.
Before 2010, there was no such technology that when keratin was formatted, it was harmful for the service instead, not the customer, but for the person who's giving the service, because the fumes goes directly into their face.
Okay.
But gladly, due to the advance in technology, advance in research done in the hair, a lot of good products are out there in the market. Now, as long as a salon does their research properly and use the right product, it won't affect anyone. Maybe mildly if they have sinuses or they have some health problem or asthma, it may affect, but not in the long term.
Okay. That's very good information. Thank you so much, Jennifer. So my next question is for you. Since you do have a salon and you have a wellness salon, I believe, right? And,
yeah, a wellness salon.
Right. So can you tell us what are most of the, let's say people might be coming in for microblading, and what are the most common procedures that you all give service, and what is it that people generally want from the enhancement, the cosmetic?
60% of our customers and 60% of the salon industry as a whole, it's dominated by hair.
Okay.
So it's the hair treatments, it's the hair coloring, fashion hair colors, streaks. So mostly, even I get customers mostly on hairstyles, hair keratin, scalp treatments, and then hair coloring and haircut. Those are the dominating ones.
Okay. And how about microblading? Do you think it's become kind of quite a rage at the moment? Do you provide microblading, and what are some of the side effects, or are there any side effects for microblading?
Currently, I do not have microblading service in my salon. And I would say that I cannot recommend much, or I cannot say much about it, because I have not done my research in that area well. So I don't think I'll be the right person to answer that.
All right, no problem. Thank you so much for your views. I'll come to you again in the next round. I'll move to Romita now. Romita, why is cosmetic surgery becoming so popular in our state, or let's say in general all over the world? Do you think, is it because of that it's because the beauty standard has become so toxic and dangerous for our society that people have to try to fit in to a certain standard of beauty?
I think cosmetic surgeries are exponentially growing at a national level, which reflects in our state also.
Right.
So I think people see a tangible benefit, so the growth is natural. So as long as these are medically safe procedures, I don't think this can be toxic in any form. So it is just helping build a better looking society.
Okay, but excuse me, if we look at the economically not very well-to-do sector, they have a lot of pressure.
I have seen some people do want to go for cosmetic surgery, but avoid due to cost factors.
Okay, but then I think in our state people do save up the money, and if they've made up their mind about any procedure, they do save up money and they go ahead and get it done. But do you think that would help them in the long run, in the sense, yes, temporarily maybe they do have the procedure and it would boost their self-confidence, but then since it's a sort of an addiction and it does cost, do you think it might affect them mentally?
I don't think so. It will affect them. I don't think so. As long as the procedure is safe and the result is positive, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, so they will repeat the procedure.
Okay. All right, I'll come to you in the next round. I'll go to Dr. Palin. Doctor, do you think, well, I don't think you're the right person, I should be asking this, but looking at the way some, let's say, unprofessional or maybe unlicensed practitioners do come up with salons or clinics which offer these procedures, do you think cosmetic surgery as such should be banned unless it's a medical issue like a burn patient or an accident victim? And because there are so many salons mushrooming up and they do hire unexperienced staff or uncertified staff. So what is your opinion on this? And should people, how
it is a legal issue. And unfortunately, there is no proper guideline from the National Medical Commission who will do what. That's why so many technicians or some doctors who are not trained, but we cannot say they are not trained. Say, for example, a technician, a nurse who has been doing the hair transplant, she leaves the center and started her own. People are doing like that, and eyelid surgery being done by, say, some other, say, specialties, and laser being applied by some other, say, IUs, this and that. So these are unregulated because demand is much more than the regulation, the speed of regulation. There has been consideration amongst the authorities like NMC or Manipur Medical Council. This has been discussed several times, and they may come out with this notice that such particular procedure should not be done by such particular person, this and that. So there may be some regulation in Manipur. So I think in India there are so many quacks and so many people doing, and there is no regulation. This we have observed, but because of the demand and the cost factor, people are going, because if they go to the highly qualified specialists, it may be costlier. Regarding your question about this, why it has become so popular. Number one is we say the disease which cannot be treated are tolerated. Any disease like cancer was tolerated because it was not treated, could not be treated. Similarly, any aging phase or any disfigurement, when it was not unable to treat, people tolerated. Now they have started knowing it through social media, various other medium. Such things can be treated and it can be transformed or changed. So that's why people have started coming. Yes, everybody wants to live long and look younger. This is one fact.
Absolutely right.
And another thing is if they wanted something to be done like a nose resetting, it has been this dilemma. It has been great suffering for the last many years because they have their own self-esteem. Like wanted to have hair or teenager or 20 years, 30 years having the baldness of the hair, this scalp. So they have got a strong desire, and even if the family could not afford, as you have pointed out nicely, they sometimes go for maru, for cosmetic surgery. And they do it. We cannot stop them.
Right.
And yes, definitely for any cosmetic surgery, we have to see one thing, the so-called body dysmorphic syndrome.
Okay.
Here, they wanted to undergo cosmetic surgery, and even if it is okay, they are not satisfied.
Okay.
They wanted to go something else. When we do the eye, they wanted to go for nose, and
Okay.
when we are talking about the nose, they wanted to do something for the lip, the chin, the jaw, so many things they wanted to have. And even if they get a comparatively good result, they are not satisfied. So this is called body dysmorphic syndrome. In any situation, they will not be satisfied, and this is a really problem, particularly for the plastic surgeon, aesthetic surgeon. Sometimes they need psychiatric consultation also, either to change or to adapt. Otherwise, it will become a problem, and they will go on doing something or revising something, redo surgery. All those things happen. So this is one area of complication, because the complication of cosmetic surgery, number one complication is not getting what she wanted.
Okay.
Unexpected say expectation of the unrealities. That is the most common. So before the procedure, we have to do a lot of counseling.
Okay.
And understand what actually she wants.
Okay.
And what we can deliver.
Okay.
If there is a mismatch between
Okay.
the result and her expectation, there is a problem. So such things should be seen.
So, doctor, this counseling that you just spoke about, is that only to those people who are exhibiting syndromes of body dysmorphic, or is it like done to the general public, whoever comes for any procedure?
No, this should be done for the general public.
Okay.
Number one, her background.
Okay.
And who has instigated.
Okay.
It is her own desire.
Okay.
And whether the defect is really serious. If it is a mild, I think the result will not be very satisfactory.
Okay, right.
And sometimes the family insists, sometimes the mother insists, sometimes her own. So all these things should be seen generally.
Okay.
And her background, and also finance is already mentioned.
Right.
Because affordability should be there, and sometimes it is very difficult to tell the rate also, because they want it, but they cannot afford sometimes.
Okay.
So that's why in Manipur, or is particularly in northern India, we are keeping the rate low. The same operation is being charged higher, double or triple in other metros. And because of that, I think the customer from various other northern states, especially this Arunachal Pradesh, they started coming a lot.
Okay. Okay.
And from Nagaland and from Mizoram, these are few states. And also those particularly northern Indians staying in metros, Bangalore and Delhi, they come and they go next day after the surgery. So these are few things. After the traveling and also the procedure, they can save money if it is done there.
Okay, so doctor, since you're telling us about your patients coming in from Arunachal and from other states, can you tell us a little more about your achievements? You've been in this field for such a long time. Can you give us a brief information about all the achievements that you've seen so far?
Yeah, I am practicing plastic surgery since 1992. That means almost 30 years.
Okay.
And in the last, in the beginning 10 years, it was 80% was reconstructive surgery, like burns, trauma, congenital defects, cancer reconstruction, and all those things. Maybe say 10 to 20% asking for cosmetic surgery.
Okay.
And after this, 2000 onwards, it has increased gradually. And we have done the highest number of cosmetic surgery in 2019.
Wow, okay.
2019, before the corona,
Okay.
and it was 50% cosmetic surgery practically,
Okay.
and 50% reconstructive surgery.
Okay.
And we thought of doing more in 2020, but unfortunately Corona came.
No.
2021 also, and we have recovered gradually. This in
Right.
the first half of and the second half of 2022, we have picked up this cosmetic surgery. Yes, as you have mentioned about achievement, we have been able to bring a lot of these varieties of procedures like hair transplantation,
Okay.
because those technicians or nurses who were doing hair transplantation in Chandigarh and Bangalore, they have come back because of the corona, and it was a blessing for us, and they have started
Okay.
in our hospital hair transplantation.
Okay.
And then eyelid surgery for the last 20 years we have done, and we have achieved probably the highest number in the country. Also presented. Rhinoplasty has picked up a lot. Luckily, I was the founder member of Rhinoplasty Society of India. We have started about 5 years back
That's
in
excellent.
Jaipur. And face lifting, neck lifting, liposuction machine we have been doing for the last 2 decades, using the liposuction machine from USA.
Okay.
And we are congenital, genital surgery.
Okay.
Genital surgery, particularly for the ladies, some area where labia is hypertrophy, and also sometimes hymenoplasty.
Okay.
Because these things we cannot tell publicly also,
Right.
because of this information they got. They are coming from outside, from inside.
Okay.
Thing. And tattoo, mole, and all those things are being done. And in the non-surgical, we are doing the Botox, skin whitening. It has become very popular in the last 3-4 years.
Okay.
And also we are doing PRP, platelet-rich plasma, particularly for the hair restoration,
Okay.
and also facial rejuvenation. We are
Okay.
and we do this lipodermic patch, particularly the so-called white patch,
Okay.
lipoderma.
Right.
It is not very big on the face or hand. Do we do the dermabrasion? We
Okay.
have a special instrument where the layer of skin can be removed, and put a very thin skin and matching skin
Okay.
to remove the white patch, and bad ear and all those things. And which is, particularly this is transgender, we do a lot of this mastectomy.
Okay.
They wanted to pick up a very, very strong desire, I have noticed. And they are both tolerating pain and spending money, and they are very serious. So we do the augmentation mammoplasty,
Okay.
and also this reduction of the mastectomy, the so-called mastectomy.
Okay.
We have found out several methods in the, depending upon the size of the breast, scarless, and sometimes we need to put the scar. And so for the transgender, we are doing a lot, and even they are requesting for the this genital change also.
Okay.
But at the moment, we have not yet started.
Okay.
Maybe in the future we may start, because this is also quite popular in other parts of the country and abroad. This
Okay.
is their right also. We also strongly feel the time will come when it can be done in Manipur also. So
Okay.
these are a few things we have been doing, and we have been able to do varieties of cosmetic surgery and non-surgical, but and surgical. And after seeing this, the varieties of, we do the jawline surgery also.
Okay.
And feminization surgery we do. And so seeing the varieties of cases, I think we are leading in cosmetic surgery in the Eastern India.
Okay, that's really good to know, doctor. And doctor, these procedures that you've been talking about, Botox and even fillers and maybe rhinoplasty, are these all permanent procedures, or do they need to be redone again after a certain point in time?
Yeah, this Botox is it is a botulinum toxin,
Right.
and it relaxes the muscle, and it lasts. It is fixed to the muscle,
Okay.
and it lasts for 6 months only.
Oh, okay.
We have to repeat it after 6 months, and this is the most popular in the world
Okay.
for wrinkles, particularly. It is quite popular in Hollywood and Bollywood, and we have brought to Manipur 25 years by back. We have brought in Manipur.
Okay.
That is one. And the filler, the diploma we are available nowadays. It lasts 2 years.
Okay.
Say we can do rhinoplasty with a filler.
Okay.
We call it medical rhinoplasty.
Okay.
Instead of putting silicone or cartilage, we
Okay.
can inject the filler.
Okay.
And immediately the nose changes, and if she wants to go for any function, morning we can give it, evening she can go. And
Okay.
it lasts for 2 years. It will be absorbed gradually, and we have
Okay.
to re-inject
It gets
again.
absorbed into the body.
And
Okay.
and about the jawline, do a liposuction. Sometimes we do this excision of the bone, particularly the angle of the mandible,
Okay.
and sometimes in enhancement we do with the silicone or bone. We cut the bone and make it right. So
Okay.
these are all permanent. So like
Okay.
surgery permanent.
So these are all performed in Manipur now.
Yes, we do it.
Okay, that's really nice. Okay, thank you so much for all the information, Doctor. I'll come back to you in the next round. My next question for Jennifer. Do you think, like, since you own the wellness studio, what are your views on why people are so they have this desire to enhance their looks? Is it because of the movies and social media and following different cultures playing a role in increasing the trend of cosmetic surgery? Do you think the people are chasing some kind of a perfection, like they want to look perfect at all the time, and how is that going to affect them if they are unable to, because we know that the younger generation use filters, and their looks are really different from what they actually are seen on social media and what they are actually in real life. So it's kind of affecting them in a negative way. So what do you think should be done in this situation?
The influence, I would say, is definitely from the West and the Korean culture that we have. It is known worldwide that Korea has the most highest standard of beauty. They feel that the V-shaped jaw that we just talked about, large eyes, small nose, and slim body is perfect. And this eventually started with the K-pop and the K-drama stars.
Right. Okay.
So when that started, everyone in Korea also wanted to look like them. So eventually the wave came on to this part of the world as well.
Okay.
First thing is the surgery and the filters and everything, which makes everyone look so perfect. But some people, or mostly the youngsters, they do not realize that some part of it is not real. So in order to look like them, or in order to look like the K-pop star, they would want to go for the surgery. And again, like you mentioned earlier, in Korea, it really does affect the job. People who are more good looking and people who are well more groomed gets the job easier than those people may be regarded as less pretty by themselves. But I would say that South Korea relatively is a smaller population with more, not much of a job provided for all the population. But in India, I would say that let's not go too much into that influence, because we are a large population. There's a lot of employment that we can seek out, and I don't think in India people actually look at the beautiful side, that if you're beautiful you'll be hired. I don't think people do that, as far as I know. So maybe we can keep ourselves balanced by being well groomed, and then putting up our appearances better, and only do the surgery. I'm not saying let's not do surgery. It really does boost someone's confidence, and I really like that it's helping someone grow personally also. But I would suggest it for people who are emotionally stable and financially stable. They can go ahead and do it when they have disposable income.
Okay.
Let's not go into the surgery by keeping a debt in our pocket or keeping a debt to your parents' pocket. I would not recommend that. I would say that when we are independent, when we are emotionally stable, no financial constraint, we can start doing that. And I think this will even help us mentally. And like Dr. Palin said, Botox and fillers are all recurring ones. So it means a lot on the pocket. So we can earn, or we can be stable first, and we can start going for these processes, not by keeping a pressure on ourselves or keeping a pressure on the so that maruk that Dr. Palin just talked about, or parents. I don't think that would be the right idea, because they're not only pressurizing themselves but an environment around them, right? So I would definitely not suggest that. But I'm not saying I don't suggest cosmetic treatment. I am a fan of it as well, so I would definitely suggest to do it that way.
Right. Okay, that's really nice. Jennifer, can you also tell us, since you do deal with beauty products, do you think if a person is healthy internally, and obviously there's going to be some sort of a glow on their face, so all this would be obviously would come with the kind of self-care, the kind of skincare routine. So do you think this could also help people, you know, with the right skincare or self-care? Do you think their beauty would be enhanced even you know, without taking the help of the procedures? And also, what is the age that you notice, especially in the Manipuris, what is the age that you notice that it becomes visible, the aging starts becoming visible?
Okay. For overall, I think not only in the Northeast, it's very visible when you start turning 25.
Okay.
But I would recommend my friends who stays in the hilly region or the tribal, they take care of it before that, because they stay in a higher altitude and the sun is even harsher there. So if you see people are there, tends to have the melasma more than the people who stays in the plain.
Yes.
So 25 is definitely a must to start wearing sunscreen and do your skincare routine. But for sunscreen, I may be wrong, doctor, you can correct me, but I think we can start using sunscreen in SPF, lower SPF, from the time we are young kids or teenager, right? I think that helps in fighting the heat way more.
So I think,
sunscreen, it is said that
yes, please go ahead, doctor.
Sunscreen, we have to start as early as possible. That is the finding, and also this is the the great discovery of the 20th century. Because our skin is sensitive to the ultraviolet ray, and yes, sunlight is required, but it should not be exposed too much. Particularly if you have complexion, they absorb more sunlight, and they are prone to have developed cancer. So if the one is anyone they're going outside for a long time, the sunlight, they better apply sunscreen to the exposed area. Maybe. That is the observation, and this is the recommended as early as possible. Even 10 years, 12 years, when they go to school, if they are playing in this sunlight, they have to go with the sunscreen on. That is the recommendation.
So, doctor,
it is that I'm sorry.
Yeah, please go
I
ahead.
just wanted to add on to the
Okay.
sunscreen and the Korean beauty standard. It is said that in Korea, kids from 2-3 years of age starts using sunscreen.
Okay.
So most of our
Yes,
people
yes, that
here,
is.
that's correct, right? So it's not even grooming or it's not even skincare. I must say that sunscreen is a basic necessity.
Okay.
To protect ourselves, to protect from the harmful UV rays. So
Okay.
it's a must for everyone, every gender.
Okay, Doctor, now pertaining to sunscreen, there are some certain controversies about sunscreen being carcinogenic and being the reason for skin cancer. Is that any truth in that, or is this all false? And also, what is the SPF that is required for daily use?
Yeah. SPF not less than 30%.
Okay.
And so far I have not heard about sunscreen becoming this carcinogenic so far.
Okay.
Utpala, I think
Yes.
I've read some articles about it. It's mostly when a brand is not well researched and they just do it for the sake of money rather than giving a good product for their brand.
Okay.
So it's the research.
You may be right. You may be right when the chemical is
wrongly used or
substandard.
Yeah.
But as the sunscreen as such, I think we count being this carcinogenic so far.
Okay. So we have to be careful with the brand that we choose. I think most of the Indian brands are pretty safe then in that case.
Indian brands, I would say Korean is the safest.
Korean, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a very good information that we just received. Now I'll come to the last round. I'll start with Romita. Romita, we've been talking about cosmetic surgery and how it boosts the self-confidence of the people, and we can see now that there are more advantages rather than cons associated with it. But do you think that people are actually going for these procedures because of the society and our value system, and how the expectation that we have, like Jennifer said right in the beginning of this debate, we spoke about the patriarchal society where women are expected to be of a certain expectations from a lady. So are we adhering to the expectation of the society of beauty? Is that the reason why this it's becoming rampant, cosmetic surgeries?
Yes. So I think in movie and social media certainly have an impact on people. Not that everyone is chasing perfection, but they just want to look better, which is a healthy trend.
Okay.
Having said that, it is always personal choice.
Okay.
So in today's generation, people are embracing natural beauty.
Okay.
And they are owning being raw and unfiltered. So it is always personal choice.
Okay, so have you noticed since you're a designer and you're always dealing with models, do they take, like, obviously when they're on stage they have to be full of makeup of a particular kind, but in the day-to-day life, do you notice that, do they use a lot of makeup, or do they prefer to stay in their natural self?
In Ramso, they have to look gorgeous. So they use all kinds of these cosmetic surgeries and makeup and everything.
Okay.
But in normal day-to-day life, they are just like us.
Okay.
They just want to be being natural.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for the information. I'll move to Dr. Palin. Doctor, what are some of the complications that you might have noticed associated with the procedures? Like, there have been loss of lives. Also recently, some Bollywood, I believe, a TV series actress lost her life while undergoing a procedure. So can you tell us some of the complications that may be associated with these procedures, as simple as they look?
Yeah, any surgery may be associated with complications. And we have encountered also in any part of the country, world. Say, for example, liposuction.
Okay.
Patient may die on the bed, on the table itself,
Okay.
unless we take care of the tooth That's why we do very thorough this basic investigations and see if there is any underlying diseases. And also now we with the research, we come to know that how to avoid all these complications. For example, in liposuction, we have to give a lot of fluid and infiltrate, and there is a definite composition for that,
Okay.
so that the body electrolytes are not disturbed.
Okay.
This is one. And also, say we have to take a thorough history. Suppose if the lady is a smoker, chronic smoker, the blood supply to the skin is very, very disturbed.
Okay.
And when we suck out the fat under the skin, sometimes all the vessels are blocked and the skin may get necrose. So instead of getting a beautiful abdominal skin, thin skin, sometimes the skin is lost. So these are few examples. So we have to take thorough history, do the investigation, and at the time of procedure also we have to, I think we should be skilled and we should be trained so that we avoid the complication.
Okay.
And for example, any minor procedure like removal of mole, at the time of injection of xylocaine, patient may go into shock.
Okay.
Sometimes the patient is allergic to xylocaine
Okay.
or any other chemical. So we should be able to intercept in such when such complication arises. That's why here transplantation should not be done in the clinic where there is no facility for general anesthesia or ICU.
Okay.
It has been recommended by National Medical Commission also,
Okay.
because some lives have been lost because of the hair transplantation, because a lot of xylocaine and a lot of adrenaline are being injected and so many other chemicals also.
Okay.
So when there is some disaster, there should be facilities to intercept. Like they can be shifted to the ICU and intercept. When the BP falls, it should be elevated. There should be anesthetists available around. So that's why any such hair transplantation should not be done in the just a clinic where there is no facility for anesthetists or general anesthesia or intensive care unit. This is the warning they have given because of the encounter. And lastly, I would say the beauty of mind is the best cosmetic. Because when there is misery, frustration, anybody can detect it, whatever the physical structure. So yes, we are doing little bit of modification, either with the eyelid or hair or nose or breast, so that they feel comfortable and they feel better. But ultimately, they have to take care of their own mind, their own thought process. This is one thing we can, of course, trigger. We can give them advice, but the actual choosing the thought, the right thought, the positive thought, that is to be done by the customer himself. So we have to support so that they are positive in thought, because our body is very much related with the thought process, because with the thought through the brain, thousands of chemicals are being released in the body, the so-called endocrine or stress hormone or happiness peptide, all these things. We have to regard our body as a manufacturer, this pharmaceutical company, where thousands of chemicals are being released. And depending upon our choice of thought, chemicals are being released. So ultimately, I think one should have the balance of mind, as already mentioned by Jennifer, stable mind, stable finance. This is very important because if they are unstable in terms of finance or in terms of mind, I think there can be a lot of complications later on. So we have to see all these factors, and they should feel comfortable, they should feel happy, and accordingly the the so-called happiness peptide will be released, and this will be healing the body. Cosmetic surgery is good because it heals the mind.
Right.
And at the same time, the happiness peptide being released, and it is a healing process for the whole body, entire body. Whenever you look to the mirror, if there is a wrinkle, then she is not happy. When
That's
it
true.
appears happy. So this is simple logic. So this will grow, and demand will be increasing as for
Right.
economy also better throughout the particularly in Manipur, much better than before. And in terms of social media, I think everybody is having this mobile, and they can check every second.
Right.
They know everything, and they will demand, and with full understanding, with a thorough understanding, and full counseling from the expert, I think we can continue this. And also there is a lot of scope for medical tourism, especially
Okay.
cosmetic surgery is one aspect of medical tourism.
Okay. In Manipur.
Yeah, in Manipur, American can come, anybody. That's like as already mentioned, this South Africa, sorry, South Korea. South Korea. This is the capital of cosmetic surgery in Asia.
Okay.
And Brazil is the global capital this in the world,
Okay.
cosmetic capital in the world. South Korea is the capital of cosmetic surgery in Asia,
Okay.
and a lot of medical tourists, they are coming for undergoing this cosmetic surgery. Any type of cosmetic surgery, they are very strong in cosmetic surgery, and they are doing themselves. At the same time, so many foreigners are coming, and so also the Thailand has picked up, Japan also.
Okay.
So it has become very popular in Asia.
Okay. That's
So Manipur is a potential area for medical tourism in other areas as well as cosmetic surgery.
okay.
Thank you.
That's a very, very positive thing to hear about that Manipur being a potential medical tourism, a place of medical tourism. Thank you so much for your all your views and all the information, Dr. Palin. My last question for Jennifer. What is it that you'd like to, since you deal with a lot of people who come in for to your salon and studio, what is it that you'd like to tell the youth of today about these procedures and also about self-care?
I would say self-care, look into the holistic part of it, not just about your appearance. Focus on your overall health, eat good diet, exercise regularly, a small form of yoga or running or just walking for half an hour is very basic. But these thing has very drastic changes in our body. So eat healthy, take care of your own skin through well-researched brand or well-researched ingredients.
Right.
As a consumer, be aware of what you're using.
Okay.
Don't just go by my sister, my friends, or everybody's body, everybody's skin is all different, right?
Absolutely.
Research well, be a good and smart consumer.
Right.
And then I would really suggest physical exercise. It will help you mentally, it will also help you physically, and it helps the skin in glowing as well. So take care of yourself overall. Don't just focus too much on your appearances. When your mind is stable, like how doctor said, when your mind is stable, the beauty is in the mind. Everything will fall into places. You will start feeling beautiful when your mind is healthy. So I say exercise, diet, and a good routine and a good lifestyle. So at SAPPHO, we really teach you how to maintain a good lifestyle in affordable way. People usually, when we say that lifestyle, it's all about going to 5-star hotels and having yoga instructor. It's not that. If you take small step, we teach you how to get that good lifestyle in a very affordable, reachable way where you can do it by yourself also. So we guide you on your beauty standards, or we guide you on your lifestyle changes. So I would say focus holistically, don't just focus on appearance, be healthy, and that's where everything will start.
Okay, super. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
I totally agree with Jennifer. I totally agree with
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
about the
those were
lifestyle.
really
Thank you.
words of wisdom.
We will have another round of discussion later on the
Yes, sir,
wellness.
definitely.
I love to hear from you. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
that
you,
will
sir.
be an excellent topic to discuss. Romita,
Yes.
what about you? What is it that you'd like to tell the people around, the youngsters
Yeah,
or everybody?
I completely agree with Jennifer. Eat healthy, stay healthy, and keep a good lifestyle.
Okay, thank you so much. So that brings us to the end of our open debate for tonight. I'd like to thank each of our panelists, Dr. Palin, Jennifer and Romita. Thank you so much for being on our show and all the information that you shared with us and your views. And I hope to see you again in the future on a very nice topic that we can discuss about. Thank you once again for being on our show. And to our viewers, that brings us to the end of this open debate. I'd like to thank all of you for your time, taking the time to watch our show. Please do not forget to leave your precious feedback and to let us know if there are any social issues that you'd like us to cover in our show. Thank you all. I'm your host Utpala, signing off for tonight. See you again next Monday with another exciting topic. Stay safe and have a good night.